is condo craziness like a sickness that spreads across a country like a virus? Does the virus of condo pricing fuckery and bad results, does it just spread out from Toronto and Vancouver maybe, but mainly Toronto? Does it just spread out to Calgary and Halifax and I don't know, maybe Edmonton someday? I don't know, because it is pretty fucking nuts, and the sickness is growing. I mean, in Calgary, I think they caught it bigly. Like, I mean, I think they've got the condo idiocy that goes on in Toronto every day, every week. Every week, condos grow a tiny bit cheaper, and new ones are going to show up. And the people who bought those new condos in Toronto 5-6 years ago, there's no other good word except they're fucked. I mean, they bought something for $1,400 a square foot that is now worth $900 a square foot. So it's as bad as it gets. But is that spread out across Canada? Because this is the weird thing that you find out when you talk to folks in Calgary who were involved in the condo sales there in Calgary. And by the way, there isn't any more condo sales going on in Calgary. It's come to a stop now too, just like it stopped in Toronto 2 years ago. It's stopped in Calgary now as well. But they say, yeah, but some of these people were from Toronto, or they met up with some people from Calgary, but the Toronto people were sort of in the lead, and they said it was a great idea 5 years ago. And yeah, so what is this? What is this mad? Oh, similar in Halifax. Like, so often I hear people in Halifax tell me, yeah, there's these Toronto people came in, and and then a story goes on from there. Look, it's kind of an illness. It's people chasing what they view as the next low-priced real estate with the sure and certain belief that it always goes up, or at least I can convince people that it's going to go up so I can somehow make some money off it. Because in most cases, as we've discovered in Ontario, after a long 12-year run, it's just gone into the crapper. So it's the chase of cheap real estate. They refer themselves as real estate investors, okay? That they are going to buy real estate as an investment, and it's going to provide a great return. They're going to pay off that mortgage. I'm eventually going to have a paid-for asset, and I will make mountains of money. Like every story of real estate investment is like some magic pixie came into the room and sprinkled pixie dust all over the real estate. And this is going to be real estate that if you buy it, the tenants will always be on time. The rents will always be on time. The tenants will never damage anything. Nothing will ever need maintenance. The monthly condo fees will never go up, or go up just a tiny bit. The property taxes will only go up just a tiny bit, and the mortgage rates will all stay about the same, or maybe go down. In other words, pure fucking magic, okay? Yeah, that's how all this investor bullshit is seeded into people, all right? Because normally people would be scared. They'd say, well, what if the tenant doesn't pay? Shh, don't ask that question. All right, so there is a rational idea about high-rise condos in downtown Calgary. There's a reasonably active, semi-vibrant downtown to Calgary. There's businesses, there's energy businesses that have head offices there. There's other businesses. And, people work downtown. They may wish to live in the condo. And unfortunately, they built some dog crates, but normally the condos were sort of rational, but they built them smaller. Still, they sold. But the idea of suburban Calgary, the idea that outside of downtown, people would want to live in high-rise or mid-rise condos is fuckery. It's fuckery. Calgary is the easiest place to build rationally priced, low-rise, semis, towns, single family. It's maybe one of the easiest places. It is the easiest place in Canada. Alberta's the easiest place in Canada. Saskatchewan's easy too. Saskatchewan's fine too. But it's easy to build them efficiently, effectively, and at rational prices any kind of low-rise housing you want. If you've ever flown over the city, it just sprawls out forever. And I'm okay with that. I think they've got a communist mayor now that might be against it for Marxist reasons, but Marxism doesn't live forever successfully in Alberta, so probably that'll correct itself. But yeah, it makes no sense in a city where there's lots of available possibility of low-rise at rational cost and even rational rents that it makes sense to build high-rise and mid-rise concrete dog crates in Calgary. It didn't make any sense in the suburbs. And I think we're going to see the result of that. So what about Edmonton? Well, Edmonton, there's very little condo development in Edmonton. There's a bit. And I'm just a bit scared that it may not work out perfectly. And because it just might not. I mean, again, it is part of a virus that spreads across Canada. Halifax is an interesting thing. Halifax is not a big city. It traditionally has a university. It has government. It has military. It has naval base, and it's a nice place to live. Halifax is nice. The idea of building high-rise condos there, I don't know what sense that makes, honestly. But one of the worst things that's going on, and they're starting to really question it, they're starting to question whether it's really changing neighborhoods, whether it's a smart idea to build high-rise in the middle of a place where there's no high-rise or even mid-rise. Why are they doing it? I mean, why are we worried about density in Halifax and Dartmouth? It doesn't make sense. But here's the evil shit that's going on there. They're talking about condo conversions. Condo conversions is literally fuckery, okay? It's taking an old apartment building and converting it to condominiums, okay? Now, you always got to put a ton of lipstick on that pig. I mean, you got to put some IKEA kitchens in, you got to slap some paint on it, you got to fix it up, make it look good, buy it a push-up bra, whatever you need to do, but you got to fix it up so it looks good, but it's still a 45-year-old apartment building, all right? You're just fucking with it to make a financial result. That's all you're doing. So they got that going on, apparently, and that's kind of died out in Ontario because the government kind of made it hard to do because the government of Ontario recognized that's just fuckery, so we got to try to bring it to an end. But yeah, that's one of the developments in Halifax. They're doing that. So I'm laughing, but I think some of the people who are buying that place will not be laughing. So yeah, that's the story. In a very real way, the condominium craziness is a virus that spreads out from Toronto, the epicenter.